What a different type of a expiry. As expected, is something which I would love to say. However, yesterday, if you remember, I had drawn this channel and mentioned 34,800 might be a good support, and the next level of support could be 34,790. And then I was expecting that market can move up. What was definitely not expected is this gap up opening, and of course subsequently our level was well supported. 35,430, which was our next level, was not broken, and then we saw a big gap, move down. Ahead of policy, market opened gap up, took resistance at 35,180, with a nice support 34,800. And RBI policy, as expected by the market, was 50 basis points. So there was a good short covering rally, and this covering rally, the FIs used this to come in, pump, and sell their positions. So what can we expect for tomorrow? Well, the repo rates increase is not a we cannot say that it is bad for the bank, because the only thing is the CRR is what the bank needs to pay to the RBI, and the RBI doesn't pay interest. So repo rate is something which, of course, we are slightly affected. So there was no CRR hike. It remained at 4.5%, which the banks definitely not losing anything much on this. Yesterday, if you remember, I had shared my view on US oil, which can affect the banks also in the coming days. US oil, as I mentioned, I'm expecting a move towards 120, 122 per barrel, and then slightly I'm expecting this to move down. So it looks like this has already hit. If you see yesterday's video, I had shown this, and we may expect a slightly more up move over towards 123. Slight consolidation we may expect, and then gradually a down towards first of 100, and then maybe 94, 92 levels. So let us see how it goes. Meanwhile, let us see how the market can expect it to behave tomorrow. This is the Nifty chart, which has been trading in this channel for some days. Tomorrow we may expect slight down move on Nifty. The next level of support could be somewhere at 16,280, 290 levels. And then we possibly can expect market to move slightly upwards. However, it again depends on how the FIs take the market. Yesterday again our finance minister was on the news and mentioned that FIs will come and go. However, retailers are going to still support the market. So we are hoping that the retailers keep buying, do not lose hope, and support us by supporting the market. Let's look at the open interest. When it comes to Nifty, they have started writing the calls, even 16300 calls. If you see, a lot of call writing has happened in Nifty. 16400, 16500, 16600. So by any chance, if there's a gap up, then all this people will have to exit or cover their positions. So far we don't see any global clues for market to move upwards. So basis this, we also see 16,000 put writing is unchanged. Previously, if you remember, 16,800 and 17,000 call was written. Now we see these green bars where more calls have been written. So there's a little chance for Nifty to move up as per the option chain. However, let us see how FIs operators want to move the market. Bank Nifty is same as yesterday. 35,000 calls and puts have again been written. In fact, more puts seem to have been added today. The 35,000. So these people may hopefully defend and try to keep the market up. In fact, if you see Bank Nifty today, 35,820 was the low. So whenever the market came down, I'm sure these puts were written and they were trying to defend this price of 35,000, and maybe hopefully they can take the market up tomorrow. If we look at the charts, if we look at the pattern, this is where the last 2 hours were traded. So any move above 35,100, we can easily expect 35,270 to 35,400 coming. I am strong, though I am slightly bearish. I see strong supports at these levels, especially in Bank Nifty. Also, I would like to tell the viewers, these are just levels based on certain price action and certain levels from open interest and our own other calculations. These are not levels to buy or sell. Do not go blindly. If you want any calls, please do join our Telegram channel. I will share this in the link here shortly. So you might look at the Telegram link. You may even contact us. We do provide weekly calls, options, Bank Nifty, equity stock options and futures as well. Today what we did was mostly we were buying, initially we were buying Bank Nifty call weekly expiry, and later at certain point we started writing the calls, and then we slowly started covering these calls and started trading in futures, because we were slowly seeing this down move coming. And as you know, Just a move of 100 200 points in Bank Nifty futures gives us a good profit. So end of the day we were able to make good in Bank Nifty. Reliance today, if you see, was pretty weak. uh, we were expecting slight support at 2700 and 2654. Let us hope for tomorrow this support can be shared. In fact, it was mostly the IT stocks like TCS which was supporting the market. If you see TCS, every day this has been slightly uh, giving huge volatile moves. Currently, if you see, it is at a good trendline support, and we can expect some kind of a up move in this coming days. So I would suggest TCS one may buy above 36.9 sorry 3,380 390 levels with a stop loss of 3,320. Possible target of initial target of 3,520 to 3,650. Most of our views are uh, uh, short term to long term. After the rate hike, we are expecting the realty sector to be slightly positive. So let's look at the index before we conclude uh, whether reality is good to be added. If you see here, after the rate hikes or our repo rate, the reality seems to have moved up almost 2% today. So tomorrow the stocks to be watched is DLF. In fact, today we had given a buy in DLF. We had buy in DLF. We covered partially at 323. We're still holding for a target of 350 360 for the coming days. Puravankara is another stock which we have bought. And we would suggest our viewers to add these stocks if it sustains above 90-92 levels. And one may expect target of 120 in 3 to 4 months time. Other good stocks are Shobha and somebody who's from Bangalore down south, who's a Mysorean, possibly can look at Brigade. They also have, in fact, some good investors who have come in recently. Shobha, once it moves above 5, once it sustains above 530, 540, we see a strong up move coming towards a target of 560 to 600 in the next 6 to 8 months. So viewers, if you have any queries on pertaining to any particular stock, please do feel free. We would be glad to share our views. So auto sector also seems to be holding uh, pretty strongly. So possibly Hero Moto can be looked into for the next couple of days. Market is very dynamic. Most of the investors and friends and clients always ask me, सर ये स्टॉक अच्छा है, ये ऑप्शन खरीद लो क्या? Can I buy this option? Can I buy this option? When it comes to stock options, I would like to tell the liquidity in the stock options are very low. Take example ABB. Look at the kind of writing or the price levels they traded. 2400 is the call which is written, call and put, whereas the next strike is 2300. So the liquidity is very low. There's no much. So price has to move huge, almost 200 points. If somebody has bought a call of 2500, okay, you can imagine you are placing an order, but then it may not get executed because there are no sellers. So when it comes to stock options, it is a different ball game. Stock options are normally used to hedge your positions, and you have to always use strangle or other strategies to if you are a stock option trader. Few of the friends had asked for my views on HDFC 2400 and 2300 call. So here if we see, of course there is a good puts and calls being written over here. However, if you see, it's a very tight range. 2200 puts are written and the next 2300. So they will not allow the price to move higher than this. Only if the price moves above 2300 or this calls are taken off, then we can expect a big move towards 2400. So if somebody has bought 2400, the premium can get killed. Why I'm taking this example is most of those people think buying, trading in stock options, we can make money without realizing, without understanding the dynamics of the market. So I'm not trying to scare anybody off, but yes, I would definitely love to trade in stock options. Last week we traded in Sun Pharma. Today we traded in TCS call option. However, our trades are just for 5-10 minutes. We do not hold for longer time, because if you see, TCS Dow has been moving up. Again 3400 has been written. So within 5-10 minutes there are some big moves basis the FI players, because they, whenever they start covering their calls or puts, then we have to enter along with the big players. Only then we can make money. So please identify where the price is moving, which stock or what time. One or two stocks options per week is good enough. Otherwise, it is always better to stick to index, because you are able to observe and trade safely. Meanwhile, let us also look at Nifty 50 stocks, and let us see if there is any good stocks for tomorrow. Titan, yesterday I had mentioned, I had shared my views. Let us see how it has performed. Looks like Titan took some good support uh, at this trend line and then has started moving up. So, thankfully, uh, we can add more. Maybe tomorrow, once the price sustains above. So tomorrow on retest was 2120. One may add Titan for a target of 2220 in the next few weeks to a month or so. ICICI Bank thankfully has taken support uh, at 720. However, I'm still not convinced with the way it is moved. Uh, if this price of 727.25 is sustained, then I would love to add in more above 730 for a target of 760 780 levels. If you see this, the type of a W inverted W pattern which has formed as well. So there is a huge chance of Infosys to move downwards. Let us only hope that these levels are sustained, and then we can expect the market to move upwards, or Infosys to move upwards. I had shared my views on LNT. LNT gave us some 20 points in the open itself. It opened slightly on the gap, but did not sustain 1628 levels, and then we went short and covered partially at these levels. So if LNT is able to sustain above 1600, then we can possibly think of going long towards a target of 1650 levels. Else I would request people to stay away from LNT for some time, because though there are good orders coming in, the big players are not really keen on this stock at the moment. Let's look at some of the auto stocks in cement sector. Ambuja Cements is still in my radar. I have not added because today it was not giving me strong clues of moving up. However, it has been slowly been consolidating at the same price for some time. So once this maybe the price wants to move slightly more lower towards 360. So we will wait for this level, and maybe we will think of adding after some time. Maruti again was 1% up. Yesterday, if we remember, I was mentioning this should be added on every dip for a target of 8,200. I am expecting Maruti to slightly retest, uh, maybe towards 780, and then take a strong pullback and hit target of 8,000 in the next 15 days to a month. So keep an eye on Maruti. Uh, if once it is sustains above 7,900 and stays for some time, add more for a target of 8,000, 8,200 as well. We saw Idea, Bharti Airtel going slightly down, uh, not showing signs of good recovery. So I would suggest our viewers to stay away from Bharti. Next level of entry would be at 640 levels. Idea, if you see, also though it showed some kind of a bullishness, has not sustained, and for kind of a doji has formed. I see a strong possibility of this being tested, uh, maybe towards 8 rupees as well. So let's wait for some time. Once we see some positive up move above 9.6, we may add for a target of 12 to 14. I am definitely not in for this stock. As if you see, this has not been giving any kind of great returns. Now any big moves towards 10 12 rupees, there's always a bigger fall up to 8 rupees. So I would not suggest to add in this stock. Now the company across globe is good, we are not seeing much positive welcome towards this stock in India. So let's look at Dow Jones once, because we understand by Friday their policies also would be coming. So let's understand how Dow Jones may react for the next few days. If you see, it is also seem to be waiting for the US data to come in. My view on Doji is Dow, it seems to have taken support at 32,700. It is trading in a very strong range. We may see a retest of 3,700 levels before any kind of a strong up move. So we are hoping that finance minister's words are true and retailers continue supporting the market. So we are closing this now. I would request if you have any queries, please do put in the chat box. Also join a Telegram channel, and we would be glad to share our views. Meanwhile, I would like to ask our viewers another question. Last time I had asked a question. What type of indicators mostly everybody uses? Can indicators be used for trading? When I say can we use it for trading, can we completely rely on indicators and trade, or just only fundamentals like open interest or any other data is sufficient to trade? These questions I would love to hear from you. Please do share your views on our questions in the chat box. So basis this, I would like to make a couple of videos and share in the weekend. Of course, fundamentals are good for long term to identify if the stock is doing good, if there are any debts, how they have been performing year on year. But I'm just asking, can we solely dependent on this or indicators for trading? So please do share your views, and basis the answers, I would probably share my views and video in the weekend. Thank you all for your time. Hope you have a profitable expiry. For tomorrow, if you ask me what option I would possibly look at, is I would possibly look to trade Nifty as per the levels which I have shared. Bank Nifty, if you are trading, look at if you're buying a call, possibly I would suggest if when you're trading in Bank Nifty, write buy a put and write, maybe you buy 35 300 puts, put at 430 or 450 above, and meanwhile write 35,000 put at 240 levels. Basis the open interest, I see this type of trading will give you maximum profit. So the worst scenario is 250 may close at say around 90 levels, and our 2300 put may close at 400 levels. So on a combination, your overall combination, you will be in profit. In fact, what I generally do is, depending on the trend of the market, I keep adding or subtracting the the put position. Supposing I have one lot put and I have written one put, I add in, whenever I see the market moving down, I would probably add 2, 3, 4 puts and cover for 40-50 points. So this one strategy possibly you can look at for tomorrow, basis the open interest. When it comes to Nifty, if the price is not, what I would possibly look at is, if there is a gap up opening, then possibly buy 36 500 put and